Failure at some point in your life is inevitable, but giving up is unforgivable. If you need more than 10 rounds to hunt, and some argue they hunt with that many rounds, you shouldn't be hunting. If you can't get the deer in 3 shots, you shouldn't be hunting. You are an embarrassment. If I don't run for president, we'll all be okay. Folks, I can tell you I've known 8 presidents, 3 of them intimately. Corruption is a cancer that eats away at a citizen's faith in democracy, diminishes the instinct for innovation and creativity, already tight national budgets, crowding out important national investments. It wastes the talent of entire generations. It scares away investments and jobs. Our future cannot depend on the government alone. The ultimate solutions lie in the attitudes and the actions of the American people. No one ever doubts that I mean what I say. The problem is I sometimes say all that I mean. Fighting corruption is not just good governance. It's self-defense. It's patriotism. The greatest gift is the ability to forget the bad things and focus on the good. Life is a matter of really tough choices. In the good old days when I was a senator, I was my own man. My dad always said, "Champ, the measure of a man is not how often he is knocked down, but how quickly he gets up." My father used to have an expression. He'd say, "Joey, a job is about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about your dignity. It's about respect. It's about your place in your community." For any young democracy, the most difficult but important step is burying the legacy of tyranny and establishing an economy and a government and institutions that abide by the rule of law. Every country faces challenges to the rule of law, including my own. In Delaware, the largest growth in population is Indian Americans moving from India. You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking. When the stock market crashed, Franklin Roosevelt got on the television and didn't just talk about the princes of greed. He said, "Look, here's what happened. Foreign policy is like human relations, only people know less about each other. No fundamental social change occurs merely because government acts. It's because civil society, the conscience of a country, begins to rise up and demand change." I have no doubt that Russia will and should remain a major source of energy supplies for Europe and the world. I used to stutter really badly. Everybody thinks it's funny, and it's not funny. It's not. My dad used to have an expression, "It is the lucky person who gets up in the morning, puts both feet on the floor, knows what they are about to do, and thinks it still matters." The Chinese have figured out that they have a giant environmental problem. Folks in Beijing, some days, literally can't breathe. Over 1 million Chinese die prematurely every year because of air pollution. Reality has a way of intruding. Reality eventually intrudes on everything. In the middle of a recession, where we're just climbing out of it, where the economy unemployment is still at 9.7%, the idea of raising taxes and reducing spending is a prescription for disaster. I know I'm not supposed to like muscle cars, but I like muscle cars. We didn't crumble after 9/11. We didn't falter after the Boston Marathon. But we're America. Americans will never, ever stand down. We endure. We overcome. We own the finish line. In my heart, I'm confident I could make a good president. You want to know whether we're better off? I've got a little bumper sticker for you. Osama bin Laden is dead and General Motors is alive. Osama bin Laden is dead and General Motors is alive. Osama bin Laden is dead and General Motors is alive. During the 60s, I was, in fact, very concerned about the civil rights movement. I graduated from the University of Delaware with a double major in history and political science. Look, freedom is an overwhelming American notion. The idea that we want to see the world, the peoples of the world free, is something that all of us subscribe to. This nuclear option is ultimately an example of the arrogance of power. I've been waiting over 40 years to come to Cyprus, and it has not disappointed. The birthplace of Aphrodite, the crossroads of civilization, and, I might add, a genuine strategic partner to the United States of America. The Middle East is hopeful. There's hope there. When my first semester grades came out, my mom and dad told me I wouldn't be playing football. America doesn't have health insurance. America's commitment to collective defense under Article 5 of NATO is a sacred obligation in our view. A sacred obligation not just for now, but for all time. Global energy security is a vital part of America's national security. A gaffe in Washington is someone telling the truth. And telling the truth has never hurt me. The effects of climate change are real and must be acted on. Barack Obama is probably the most exciting candidate that either the Democratic or Republican Party has produced, at least since I've been around. He's fresh, he's new, he's insightful. You've got to reach a hand of friendship across the aisle and across philosophies in this country. I love that Cadillac ATS. We are America, second to none, and we own the finish line. Don't forget it. When we wrote the Constitution, The intention was to give the commander-in-chief the authority how to use the forces when you authorize him to be able to use the forces. You never make fun of anybody with a club foot or a withered arm, but it's open season on anybody who stutters. Corruption is just another form of tyranny. Just talk to me as a father, not what the Constitution says. What do you feel? For too long in this society, we have celebrated unrestrained individualism over common community. Let me tell you what I literally told every world leader I've met with, and I've met them all. It's never been a good bet to bet against America. We have the finest fighting force in the world. I exaggerate when I'm angry, but I've never gone around telling people things that aren't true about me. Innovation can only occur where you can breathe free. Well, I was 29 years old when I came to the United States Senate, and I have learned a lot. Look, folks, we know who built this country and we know who is going to rebuild it. It's you. Instead of vilifying you, we should be thanking you. We owe you. Well, I thought the deal was, when you went to work for the government, you weren't supposed to make money. As a matter of fact, I didn't make a political speech outside of my state for 20 years. Let's just be smart this time. I'm looking for smart. Hillary Clinton is as qualified or more qualified than I am to be Vice President of the United States of America. Let's get that straight. She's a truly close personal friend. She is qualified to be President of the United States of America. She's easily qualified to be Vice President of the United States of America. The White House isn't the place to learn how to deal with international crisis, the balance of power, war and peace, and the economic future of the next generation. You get a lawyer whether you're in a military tribunal or whether you're in a federal court. Number 1. The Attorney General decided that the court with the biggest, with the greatest venue, with the best jurisdiction was the New York court. That was the right decision to make.